All right, listen. Not much on the agenda for tonight, so apologize for you coming and not having much excitement for you tonight. So, yeah, Alan.
Me?
Yeah.
No,
Oh, I
weird.
didn't hear all of them that I can make.
We're live.
Okay, it's 6 p.m., so we'll call the meeting to order for the Upson County Board of Commissioners for Tuesday, April 13th. Jessica, would you do the invocation tonight? I'm sorry to put you on the spot like that, but if you would, please rise for the invocation followed by a pledge.
Heavenly Father, we come thanking you for all of your amazing blessings. Lord, we thank you for this day and another opportunity to join together. Lord, we ask that you bless this meeting. Bless those that are making decisions and let the decisions be pleasing in your sight. Lord, we ask that you bless our community. Lord, we ask that you continue to bless our country and our nation, Lord. Lord, we ask for forgiveness of all of our sins. These blessings and others we ask in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. You can join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. Beautiful day. All right. On the agenda next is public comments. Do we have any tonight?
We do. We have one from Mr. Gary Sepp.
Oh.
Would you like me to read it, or do you want to
Well,
speak?
I don't want to be, do wrong with it, whatever the program is.
If you'd like to tell us, you can just stand right there, state your name and your address, and you got 5 minutes there, Mr. Self.
Well, I got my cheat sheet.
Well, good. Glad to.
Okay, I'll just read it out. My name is Gary Self. I live at 226 Roberts Loop in Thomaston, Georgia. My first item on here is the consent agenda. I would like any bidding using tax monies to be discussed at the commission meeting, and any ongoing projects and their dates be discussed at the commission meeting. I don't like the consent agenda. The next thing is the militia groups are practicing in Upson County, and I don't think that's a good thing. Kendall Road has a recreation area down there that was funded with our tax money. And this group was near that recreation area. I think that the public needs to know how the commission feels about these groups being here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Self. Okay, any other comments?
No, sir.
That's it. All right. So we'll move along, and next is the consent agenda, and I'll go through it. So first on the consent are our March 23rd regular meeting minutes. The approval of splash funds for Civic Center flooring, and just for the record, that project was re-advertised, and we did get more bids, and the winning bid was $78,770 for L.W. Richardson flooring, and the high bid, and it's out there, the high bid was $137,000. So and the mid bid was $99,000. So it was a good thing to do to open it up, make it less specific on what product we were using. Okay, the next item on the splosh on the consent is splosh funds for mowers for the rec department. Again, gentlemen, you remember we had 3 bids: Sun South LLC, Thompson Hardware, and Advanced Power Equipment, and the low bid was Sun South at $17,800. The high bid was $24,000. So, also, as we discussed at the work session, that we had an update to the training and education development policy for our employee personnel manual. you'll see an update to the vacation leave amendment in the employee personnel policy manual. And then also is the master services agreement with Wood Environment and Infrastructure Solutions to provide services for us as we work on ordinances and land use. All those were worked on at our work session. So with that, I'll entertain a motion on the consent.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a motion that the consent agenda be approved.
Okay, motion approved. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Commissioner Jones. Ms. Jones?
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wilder?
Yes.
Chairman Allen?
Yes. Okay, next is new business, and turn it over to the county manager.
Mr. Chairman, I have 5 items I want to briefly touch on. Number one, as many of the board members are already aware, we got another round of executive orders from the governor's office on the 31st of March. There were 3. One extends the state of emergency statewide through April 30. Therefore extending our local one again. As you remember, we rewrote ours some time ago to include language that we would stay under a local state of emergency as long as the state was under one. The second of those orders extends extended the current COVID guidance that was enacted under the previous order through April 7th. And then the third order that became effective April 8th rolls back many of the COVID restrictions that were in place. And just to give you a brief idea of what some of those are, it lifts bans on gatherings and distance requirements for businesses starting on the 8th through the 30th. It also eliminates the remainder of the shelter-in-place orders that were, and I think that was just for elderly and infirmed. So those are no longer in place. New guidelines will allow for businesses such as restaurants, bars, fitness centers, and movie theaters to open at full capacity. So with that said, it's my recommendation to the board that we plan to resume our normal meeting protocols beginning with our May 11th meeting. Because we have every reason to believe that executive order may expire and not get renewed. And we're really only authorized to operate in this manner under that governor's executive order. And also based on the information we've been getting on our, what used to be our weekly calls, we've now gone to bi-weekly calls, we make the recommendation that we could go back to business as usual. Obviously, there are still some requirements. Staff will make an evaluation of the room and try to determine a maximum capacity. We still have to do a level of social distancing. It just won't be as extreme as what we're used to. I think we're at 3.5 feet now instead of 6. But that would still allow for a fairly large capacity in the room. So transitioning with that into our call today, which is now every other week. For the most part, it's status quo. The hospital had a few folks as the reported inpatient, none of them serious. There were 6 compared to 0 when we reported at our last meeting. Their testing positivity rate is right at 12%. I think they were reporting 5% a few weeks ago, so there has been a change there. But I think most importantly, the hospital celebrated their 15,000th vaccination, and that was a really big deal. And
I know who it was, right?
someone we all know and cherish. But anyway, they did a nice social media post on that, and I even reposted it on my personal page for those of you that want to go find it. But very, very exciting. But Jeff did mention that on the call today.
Good.
I did get another update from Grella Partnership Strategies. I just went ahead and forwarded that to you via email. It was rather lengthy and detailed, mostly having to do with work on not only the county's website, but the IDA's website, and it's actually very detailed information as to what those processes are and what the remaining timeline is. And it also includes some information about some recommended abatement schedules that Mike was going to present to us. He's working on those currently. If you have any questions about those specifically, you just feel free to reply all. We'll loop Mike into the conversation and get any questions you have answered for him. Really, one of the most exciting things, or the fun thing that I want to share with the board today is several of the board members know that one of the software providers we use, they offer a function, at no additional charge that we've not utilized before, and as code enforcement, I think, has become a dominant topic in our work sessions and then in our individual conversations with staff and with commissioners. We thought we would do a community pulse check on what the residents of Upson thought about our community and potentially what's on their mind as it relates to code enforcement. So I worked with our partners to do a very simple survey that we're going to release after the meeting tonight. Should be up on our website tomorrow. We'll have our rec department, our sheriff's office, we'll have our bluff staff, anyone that maintains a social media presence, our EMA, we'll blast those surveys out to there. It'll be on our website. We'll see if we can't get the radio station to post it on their blog spot. We'll see if we can't also get the newspaper to put it on their blog. So what we're asking folks to do and give us feedback on are the follow. So there's 3 questions in the survey. The first question is, are you a resident of Upson County? If you answer no, your survey's done. So question 2, on a scale of 1 to 5, how serious of a problem do you think each of the following issues are in the county? And I work together with our planning director and our code enforcement officer to come up with these number of categories that he faces on a daily basis when it comes to complaints, and they are as follows. So 1 to 10, 1 is not a problem, 5 is a serious problem. You can rank it 1 to 5. 1 is burning of yard waste. The second one, poorly maintained homes and buildings. The third will give you an option to weigh in on trash and debris in private yards. The fourth option will let you weigh in on abandoned vehicles, and the fifth will let you weigh in on illegal dumping or household trash. And then the third question is going to be an open-ended question, and it reads as follows. What laws or regulations do you think should be introduced or changed to make Upson County a more attractive place to live? And so we'll have a free-form option there. So we'll probably run that for the plan is to run that for 2 weeks and then get some results back to the board. I felt this was pertinent because we're in the process of, the one staff position we did add to the general fund this year was in code enforcement. This will help maybe narrow the focus for that additional resource. And if you have any questions about that, what I will do is I'll send the link to each one of the commissioners too, so you can put it on your social media if you feel that's appropriate. And of course, if you have any questions related to that, I can either answer those when I'm done, or you can email them to me. And then the last item I have is, I know last time I got into pretty specific detail about what the issues we're following as it related to the American Rescue Plan Act and the funding that we are allocated that's associated with that plan. We still don't have any guidance from Treasury on that, so there's really been no change. We follow it every day. I did get confirmation from National Association of Counties that the questions that Upson County submitted were handed over to Treasury. So as part of, I'm sure, hundreds of questions from their membership, we were assured that Treasury would address ours specifically. And with that, Mr. Chairman, that concludes my remarks.
Thanks, Jason. Jessica, you got anything you need from us?
I don't.
All right. Mr. English?
I do not, Chairman. Thank you.
Okay.
15 minutes.
All right. We're not done yet. We're close. Mr. Watson, you have anything?
Well, just a quick question on one of Jason's points. On the Zen City survey, how was that data collected, and I guess with that open-ended question, who kind of sorts through that? I mean, the first 5 are gonna be pretty easy. It's just gonna be kind of a, rated system. But with that open-ended question.
Yeah, so they're actually gonna provide us with a report, very similar to the profiles that I've shared with you in the past when
Yeah.
we were looking at. If you remember, the Zen City software is what we were looking at as part of trying to understand community sentiment around pandemic issues. Before we were preempted by the state from doing a lot of things locally, we were using that software to try to gauge public sentiment through people's posts and reactions on social media. So they're going to prepare a report for us with recommendations based on the feedback that they have. And then, of course, it should also generate, if we blast it out there appropriately, I hope I'm using the right term, I'm middle-aged now, but then it's going to generate also additional conversations, hopefully, out in, on Facebook and Twitter and some of the other mediums that Zen City captures for us, and help us generate some more organic feedback.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's all I have.
Mr. Wilder?
The one thing I would like to make mention of, I know, we all know that that COVID-19, it, dictated that we had to start doing a lot of things differently. And what I would like to see over sometime in the not too distant future, maybe the next couple of quarters at least, we might want to consider having a town hall meeting. We have folks in the neighborhood calling individual commissioners, and we don't have a gathering of folks to voice their concerns and what they're concerned about. I would like to see us have a town hall meeting so we have a gathering of people to ask questions, because oftentimes one answer generates another question, and we'd like to see what the pulse of the neighborhood is on some of the things they would like to see tackled as this group of move forward.
I'll tell you, what we can do is Jason and Jessica and I can get together and start trying to put together a schedule and just assume that every commissioner will want one in their district, and then we'll just work with each commissioner and say, where would it be, and that, and we'll put together, maybe we just go ahead and schedule it out for the rest of the year, and then going forward, because we've got a lot of information, especially this year, that we're going to have that's got to get out there, and it's not so much about what we have to tell them as what we need to hear.
We need to hear from them.
Yeah, we do. We miss it.
Yeah.
We haven't done it in a long time. So.
Right.
Mr. Chairman, if I might, I had my first opportunity to go present to a civic organization last night, and it was really refreshing. I hadn't done that in a year, so the level of engagement was really good. We ended up, I looked down and I think I was up there for an hour and 20 minutes.
Fast
but there were a lot of questions. Well, there was a lot, but it was fun to be able to interact with a crowd. I think it was exclusively vaccinated too, which was great. But yeah, It's fun to get back to that kind of stuff.
Yep. Mr. Jones.
We've only got 2 things. One is this Zen City thing. So the only objection I got to it is the no, where it says divert out of the survey. So people are going to read that and they're going to circle yes, and then they're going to trash us. So if you just took the divert out and see if they were no ought to live in the county, but
It won't say that on the survey.
oh, it won't.
Yeah, when you
Yes
click
or
no,
no.
you'll just be
You
done.
answer no.
Well, that's what I'm. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I worry about
Yeah.
outside influence on Facebook and everything else that,
Yeah. May I address that, Mr. Chairman? My concern was very similar, and and I talked to Commissioner Watson about this, about using this medium to try to get feedback on other items. And really, we thought this would be a good test item, because it is easy for things like this to get hijacked. So for us, we want to see, you know, from the data and from their algorithm, they're gonna be able to tell us if we've got a real good sampling or if we got hijacked.
All right, so let me ask you another question. If they say no and they get kicked out, does it record the person if they re-entered and voted yes and said yes?
No,
Probably not.
No, it's not that sophisticated.
All right, I actually got two more things, but I thought of something else was. We get the trash service fixed.
As far as I know, they're
Down.
operating at full capacity.
Okay.
Yeah.
It always happens on Wednesday, so we'll find out tomorrow morning.
Well, and
I did see him running a truck that wasn't GFL, so they pulled a truck from elsewhere.
I believe I shared some of my communication
Mhm.
with our okay, yeah, so
Yeah, I know they were
The
down
message-
a couple trucks.
the message was clear, I thought.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it was clear to me.
And the other thing I got is, if you're listening out there, or he can read it in the minutes when he gets back, I want to say congratulations ahead of time to Hannah Ellington, who's getting married this weekend. And she is the daughter of Commissioner James Ellington. And I just want to wish them a very happy marriage.
Hope they're staying warm.
That's right. That's
Okay,
it.
all right. Just to kind of get me back in the loop on meetings that we have scheduled. I know Monday on the 19th, we have a meeting, and that was to basically just, that's an executive session only meeting. There's another one, right? What else do we have?
We have another joint SPOS meeting coming up
It's the 28th.
at the end of the month.
28. All right.
It's 28.
Is it the 28th or
I think it's the 30th.
the 30th?
It's
Is
a Friday.
I thought it was May the 19th.
May the 19th is our executive session, so.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, we went out to May 19th. I remember us talking about.
I went to April.
I thought it was.
I have it
May.
on my calendar.
I have
It's
it
on
written.
my phone.
Wait a second.
All right.
I have it written
I don't have
down.
an invite for it,
Hold on.
so.
I have
I
it.
was thinking it was May 19th when.
May 19th is the next meeting. I have it written right
That's what I
here.
have on my calendar.
Don't know why I didn't look at that.
And can we,
May 19th.
April 19th.
May.
No,
May 19th.
that's for the city, county, and.
That's the splosh one, but next
Right.
Monday we have one,
One executive.
April
session.
19th,
Yeah.
Right.
for our,
Right.
yeah, that's, yeah. Okay,
I can send those out.
so the 19th and the 19th.
Right.
4/19,
I got
5/19.
that, and then could you send me an invite for the May the 19th,
Okay.
so I can remember?
Okay, and you know, and I know we don't go in and have, you know, a discussion back and forth, but, you know, Mr. Self in his comments asked to, you know, want to know what the board felt. And I can't speak for the board, but I can speak for Norman. You know, I'm a Bill of Rights guy, and if you are in Upson County and you are adhering to the laws of this community, then you ought to be welcome here and everything, and conduct yourselves accordingly. Any law-abiding activity, you know, we should welcome. And when it starts to, you know, to me, when it starts to get on the boundary of, you know, we may not agree with things or whatever, but, you know, I count on our sheriff and our other law enforcement officers to keep things in check and keep them real. And in the situation that Mr. Self alluded to in his comments, we all saw it in the paper. You know, my conversation with the sheriff, I mean, I didn't know anything about it until like a week or so later when I was told about it, you know, that, you know, his folks engaged, they went out there, and these folks were very kind, they were very accommodating, and they took the direction well. So, you know, we can go back and, you know, we have other groups out there that are on their own property doing things. And for instance, you know, last year we had a tornado and we were flying around and found that tire, that big tire dump that was actually a shooting range. And for another group of people that, based on your definition of what a militia could be, somebody could have called them a militia. But, you know, we got that cleaned up too. So, all law-abiding activities, welcome. Appreciate everybody's different opinions about things, different views. But if you cross the line, that's when I'm counting on our, be it when you cross the line with anything, be it code enforcement or a state or a federal law, or something that's you're not respecting your neighbors in our community, then I'm counting on those individuals and those organizations that take care of that. So that was just me, and since he asked, he put me on the spot. I wanted to tell him. So, but anyway, I think that's all we had.
One more comment from me, please.
Man, that's like 4 from you.
Okay. My brain's turning tonight because I'm sitting up here instead of in the hole.
Well, we know where you're sitting next to me.
I want everybody to remember yesterday morning was 1 year since the tornado come through. We still got a lot to do. It's looking a lot better. But I pass it when I come to town up 74. And I guess we don't take care of 74, right? That's state. Yeah, where that house moved, I mean, 2 feet off the road, there's still lumber and tin and everything else in the right of way. I mean, they ain't even 2 feet off the asphalt where that house come across.
I hadn't seen that.
Yeah, so, I don't know.
We can reach out to our folks. See what they can do.
It was a quick year.
Yeah.
So,
Had it, and one, you mentioned state route, made me think about something else. Jason and I had a great meeting with the new District 3 GDOT engineer. Had spent some time with him last week, and looking forward to having a very productive relationship with him, because hey, he's from here. So, any other by the ways?
I've been in conversation with GDOT over the last couple of weeks, and I know that right now they have either 3 or 4 crews still in Noonan assisting those people with the tornado. That doesn't excuse them from a year ago for not cleaning up 74, but I do want to make mention that I have had conversation with them recently, and they are. Most of their folks are over in Noonan right now.
Okay. Okay. Like I said earlier, before we started the meeting, there's a lot of paving going on, and like Jason said, we're towards the end of this phase. So if you ride down Jeff Davis, you'll see where they got out there and they did the crack sealing. That's a very good thing. Hopefully that'll buy us a lot more time on that road, and we can get until after that bridge is done, so we can take care of that road. And then if you go out County Road, like going to Potato Creek Heights, from the county line down to Potato Creek, that's been resurfaced. Bless you.
Thank you.
And then I saw all this brand new asphalt on County Road going out towards Ben Hill. So it's a lot of good stuff going on. So if there's nothing else, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Yep.
We're adjourned. Thank y'all. Thank you, Mr. Sutton. We're still live.
From the, you went there. You don't have to sign.
Yeah, that year passed by fast.
Oh, this is from the other day.
Still a lot to clean up.